Hello everyone and welcome to the first live demo and presentation from Geeklist Hack for Good 0.6 against climate change. We're 48 hours in now and Melbourne, Australia were the first city to join 2 days ago, and today we're joined by a team who've come together very quickly over the last couple of weeks and come to the hackathon to build solutions against climate change. We've had teams all over the world. Over 1,000 people have joined the hackathon app. It's been an absolutely incredible response. I, for one, have been checking out teams from many, many cities around the world and hearing about what they've been building over this weekend, responding to challenges from world-leading organizations and charity and challenge partners, including WWF, Fallen for International, the UK's Department of Energy and Climate Change, many dozens of charities and organizations who've been involved. And I just can't wait to see over the next 20 hours as teams around the world are going to present what they've built to help humanity combat climate change. Joined also by Ruben Katz today. Ruben, hi, how are you?
Hey Dan, how's it going? Really great to see you're still awake and live with us here in London. What time is it there, Dan?
Yeah, it's almost 9 a.m. here. Last time I slept was a couple of hours, about 24 hours ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time and a long night preparing for these great events, and your work's phenomenal, and we couldn't have done it without you. Obviously, we've got Victoria in Melbourne, Australia coming on in a second. I just want to say this is the very first app to be built in Australia for the Hack for Good event, the first time we've had anyone representing us in Australia. So we have one team that in Australia that's created a phenomenal app for us to take a look at, and coming up in about an hour afterwards, right then at about 2 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, PDT, 2 a.m., which would be at what time GMT, Dan, is that? That would be...
yeah, that would be at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
British Standard Time.
So 10 a.m. British
CEST.
Excellent. And we'll have about 20 or 30 apps, I believe, being presented between Bangalore and all the cities in India that will be presenting. And I think that right now we're up to, how many apps are we at in the hackathon app? At least 100, and we've got 121 projects from 129 ideas. Now they're not all from the same ideas and the same projects, but we've got 121 projects worldwide that are going to be pitching us, and we're kicking off with Melbourne. That's you, Victoria. Are your teams ready?
Hi, Ruben, how's it going? Team is almost ready. We're just grabbing a power cord so that we don't accidentally go off air like that.
Well, we wouldn't want that to happen. So,
so yeah, we're just doing that final touch of making sure that the software's actually got some juice to run on. Then we're looking forward to presenting the app that has been built over the 48 hours. It has been an amazing journey, and yeah.
Fantastic. Well, here in San Francisco, it's 10 till 1 a.m. in the morning, and we've got one team left tonight still hacking away, two teams actually, still hacking away here behind me, and we are at the...
You guys are only about halfway through, Ruben. You've got loads of time left.
Yeah, we're here at the Pivotal Labs office in Howard Street, San Francisco, and we've got Rod here in the background, who's our trusty ambassador in San Francisco.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first live
and we
Geeklist Hack for Good 0.6 against climate change.
Yeah,
It's now
playing there in the background, Ruben. Yeah, that was very funny. I think it must have been
some sort of loop here.
yeah, the test version queued up into incognito. So as you can tell, the reason Dan is up so late and hasn't slept for 24 hours is he and I have been testing out the apps and getting all the technologies ready for Melbourne to come live. Victoria, we almost ready over there with the teams? How's their...
You are.
What?
Ready when you are.
Fantastic. Well,
Victoria, before you go on to the team, how did you find out about Hack for Good? It's always interesting to hear these stories.
Yeah, sure. Found out about Hack for Good through a friend of mine at Just Giving in the UK. I'm originally from London. I moved to Melbourne a year ago. And she said, you're a hackathon nutter, you should go to this. Found out it wasn't organized yet, so just put something together in a couple of weeks. But it's not really about me, it's about the fact that some amazing, amazing and very talented people turned up, enough to make one really good, solid team. So what they've come up with is amazing, very proud, and yeah, look forward to you guys hearing about it.
Okay, let's hear from that team.
Cool. Okay, so presenting Ashley and Sam with Hunt and Gather.
Thanks, Vic.
Thanks, Vic.
Cool. Okay, so are you to interview us, or shall we just start presenting?
go ahead and kick off.
Tell us about like what got you interested in Hack for Good first of all, and
Okay.
then yeah, get into what you built and what your idea's been and what problem
Cool.
you're solving.
Sure. Well, we both found it in the same way. It was through Vic and the company she works for called SquareWeave. They're an awesome technical agency in Melbourne. They're doing amazing work here, and you know, we both met each other through a SquareWeave run startup accelerator about 6 months ago. So yeah, exactly the same origin. And so yeah, we ended up here. We had a team sort of oscillated in numbers from about 6 to 10 at different times, but we've had a core group of 6 or 7 people. And yeah, we had a pivot initially. We were trying to solve the issue of lack of transparency for retail energy providers. And then that got really, really messy and became like a minimum 2-week, 3-week project. And we thought, okay, well, we would rather ship something that is useful. And
We can't do that right now.
yeah. So we pivoted across to something else, which became Hunt and Gather, which is basically a mapping tool allowing people. First feature is you pick up local fruit trees around the city of Melbourne, and it allows people to upload through from their mobile phone, through a tablet, through the web app, through online, exactly where fruit trees are that have access to fruit. So it's a collaborative consumption sort of thing we've built, yeah. And the problem really is that in Australia, each person wastes about 100 kilograms or 220 pounds worth of food per year, and we'd like to make a dent in that by helping people share excess fruit, which would otherwise just rot. And we're going to go on from that to community gardens, food banks, all the official bodies, and guerrilla gardens that people just plant in the middle of a strip. And we thought, okay, we'll do something that's quite a widespread. That's what we've got set up. Yeah. So we pivoted across to something else.
Right, okay. So we might dive into what we've actually created if we share it on the Google Hangout.
Yeah.
Yep. So click on that.
Yep.
So it's at this point in time
Maybe we can use the actual page. So that works. Yeah, it works.
Right?
Yep.
So at this point in time, it's a web-based app for anybody to go on to. At this stage, it's based in Heroku. And if you would like to find fruit trees, which is the only category that we've got in there right now, all you have to do is start hunting. And that will bring up a big display of, at this point in time, the data located around Melbourne. And we've clustered this data to sort of provide hotspots of where you can go to get the, I guess, bang for the buck in trying to get fruit. So if we deep dive down, you can then go into different areas which will showcase pins of ideas like mulberry trees and lemon tree and various other fruit trees that are around the Melbourne area. So if we go back through the top tab, we can then in turn, if you have a fruit tree or a fruit offering, you can start giving through gathering, and
it will automatically detect your lat long, and then right now we just have fruit tree as the only type you can upload as a user. But then, as I said before, we'll have community gardens. We're not far off on that. That'll be the next feature. We also want to use Twitter. With our Twitter account, once we establish that, we'll decide on a hashtag, and whenever it'll be able to pick up whenever people use that hashtag, and then use Twitter's geolocation capacity to add an entry just through tweeting. And then that way, it also tweets out. It helps it grow, because we all have friends on Twitter, or followers at least, from different countries that can help it spread. And then what we were looking at going forward is to have, wherever like a pocket and a cluster can build up, have like a local like DIY loving, community loving administrator to make sure that there are no dodgy entries going in, or as few as possible.
Right. Yeah. Go back to. Oh,
yeah, it's us again.
Upside down.
Yeah.
So we believe by going with a mobile-first web application approach, this will really feed into the recent and rapid uptake of smart devices in this country, and in turn in developing nations that are seeing a big boom in mobile applications, so that they can easily access this information on the fly when they're in the field, rather than having to use a desktop or a laptop.
Just kind of messy. And yeah, that's where like most of the adoption comes from in developing nations. It's mobile first, and like it's crazy how many more people there's be on the internet in 5 years. Like 2 billion people. It's quite a lot. That's just an estimation, obviously, but that's why we designed mobile first.
Yeah. So that is primarily what Hunt and Gather is all about so far, at this point in time. And we hope to really take it to the next level in the impending future. And we thank Hack for Good and Geeklist for putting this wonderful hackathon on. And
over 1,000 participants.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. So that is pretty much a wrap.
Yeah. Great job, guys. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for putting it on.
And we'll be signing off and going on to the next apps in about 1 hour's time, kicking off in Bangalore and
Bangalore, we're going for Baguio first in the Philippines in an hour.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Bangalore's a couple of hours after that again.
It'll be Bangalore, and then 1, 2, 3 hours after that will be, Baguio, and then Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and New Delhi.
Amazing.
A lot of Indian teams.
So
there's a lot of reach there.
You're in great company with great hackers from around the world. Thank you, Melbourne. Dan, any final words before we sign off? Oh, special thanks to Rackspace, CartoDB, Just Giving. Thank you. You guys are awesome sponsors, and we've happy to be here in Pivotal Labs.
Here's the team. The brains of the outfit behind me.
Yeah, have to see the rest of the team.
Great job, Melbourne, Australia.
See you for the next 20 hours of many, many, many more projects and inspiring ideas realized in this short period of time.
Awesome.
Great work.
Cool. Awesome. That's it?
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, high five.
Oh yeah, we can do the.